Cup Series, Cup number 7. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by Don John, and we'll be bringing you the games today. About 25 teams signed up for today, and the first game we'll be bringing you will be Collab versus Team Crunched. And it should be an interesting game. Fortress is released, and we are on patch point 1.5, if I can English correctly. So a lot of changes happening across the board for this one, but we've seen actually just on Sunday how it's affected the gameplays with hardly seen Voxes anymore. Jewel got nerfed pretty heavily.
We saw Ringo the first time again.
We did.
Playing, actually, on Red Wolf.
Yeah, and it was cool to see that. He did a pretty damn good job on Ringo too.
I told you that.
You did. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen for picks today. We don't have that OP Scar pick anymore. Bans have been usually directed at one character and one character in particular, Fortress. Yes. But bans are a little bit different this time.
Yeah, we have we have again a Fortress ban from Team Collab versus Team Crunched, and Team Crunched banned actually Jewel.
All right, well, we can go ahead and have them start this one up, and we can get underway with our first game. Actually, before we do get that fully started, I'll share the brackets really quick at home if you're not familiar with what's exactly going on today. Just going to put that on your screen. We have Red Team 1 up against Bohemian Spirit. House of Battalion still waiting for their opponent in the round of 16. Feet Spell up against Prodigy. Unknown still waiting for their opponent. Team HC up against Walkers. Element up against Red Team 2. Wild Panthers up against Fire Elements. And Collab actually making it out of the round of 32 this time to play against Team Crunched.
I heard that only Shin played the last time on Collab.
1v3?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That what happened? Because they
I don't know why they'd play that out. And really quickly, just a stand-in, just to show you for a quick second as we do the picks happening. We have Red Team 1 in first place at 365. Collab in second at 320. Maybe I can actually make this a little bit bigger for you guys.
Yeah,
that looks a little bit better for you. Team HC at 272. So these top 8 teams currently are the teams that will be playing in the finals on June 14th. Of course, with Cup 7 and 8, and I think Cup... Yeah, no, just 7 and 8. There's not a 9, because 9 is the finals. Yeah. There's only a couple more cups left to go before you can potentially either be in the finals or unfortunately lose out on that one. And I think we even had... Yeah, good thing that I did actually not drop us in that early. As we are going to finally see the picks coming in for these teams.
Yeah, we have a full pick team on Team Crunched already.
We're not on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi's turned off.
And we actually have a Taka pick, and we have a Vox. You just mentioned it. There he is. Iraqi Soro playing Vox, and Gabe Wizzle picking the new champ Fortress. So they banned actually Fortress against Team Crunched, and we saw that from Team Red in the last cup on Sunday as well. They did that actually in every match, even when they played versus their brother team, Red 2. They just basically all the time banned Fortress.
And we're seeing Glaive, more importantly. That's the interesting part for me, is how he's really going to play out in this. We've seen him once. Actually, it's actually sounded like twice against a team that Collab played not too long ago, but unfortunately it didn't really work out too well, if I remember correctly.
I remember wasn't it Team HC, if I'm not totally
It could be Team HC. I wasn't 100% sure of which team it was. It could have been them, definitely. And we'll see how it works out for them on this lineup, though. But we're seeing the triple melee comp out of Team Crunched. Taka, Catherine, Kashka. Yeah. And of course, this can be sitting side by side in the jungle for now.
It's going to be interesting how especially Iraqi is going. I mean, Vox got a couple of nerfs. His crystal ratio, his
resonance doesn't hit 3 targets anymore.
Only 2 targets, and we'll see. I mean, his wave clear is still pretty decent. We'll see what Ruari is going to do about that with the book already in lane here. And I just want to mention that since you heard about some Korean guy playing a wonderful Ringo, I think Iraqi is probably the best Vox world, if you don't know that already. So
it's only one way to find out. Southeast Asia meets NA and EU. Big tournament worldwide would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
See who's the best in what regions. But a little bit of a slow game so far. We're not seeing Collab, what they're known for, be really aggressive in the jungle. And that's probably due to well, not playing Scarf and not him being as strong as he used to be. But Gabe Wizzle looking for a little bit of an engage. Captain's gonna be the one to go into Iraqi. They're trying to stun him up and try to dive in the back line. But Rory, that might have cost him his life, as we do see Fuji go in, and one attack will pick it off. And that'll be a first blood coming in for Collab. A second, not gonna be happening. But there's that early control that they need to get something going on their side.
I mean, it's interesting that actually Gabe Wizzle picks up 2 members of Team Crunched in the Trabash. And then, like, probably 30 seconds before that, Iraqi Sura already left the lane. But somehow that was not communicated by Ruari, and he rotated down way too late, and they picked actually, Fortress got his stacks with Tooth of the Truth.
Yeah, so we've been hit or miss on Fortress.
Whoa, quite low. And the Kaku, I think, he should be fine. I didn't even capture that kill.
Yeah, it's okay. You're bound to miss one eventually. And, you know, like I was trying to say before, we've been hit or miss on Fortress. You know, when you're ahead, it works out well, but then again, you're already ahead, so it's not that big of a deal. When you're behind, he gets really squishy, and we haven't really seen him being able to do anything too crazy. But out of, you know, the games you've seen so far, what's your consensus on him, or do you think you need to see a couple more games first?
To say how good
how you feel about him, yeah.
I saw, I don't know, someone streamed and someone played Fortress with Saw together, and I saw a lot of people mentioning that. It somehow worked quite good. It was, but I'm not, as you said that a couple of times already, I'm not quite sure if actually it's due to Fortress or it's just a good jungler. So
yeah,
still feeling like a bit newish. It takes some time to see really his advantage or disadvantage. But I mean, it's Collab, one of the best teams, is playing him and banning him. Red, lately dominating ESL, is banning him all the time, but playing him if they are not getting him banned. So there needs to be something what is still worth picking him, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we did have Fluffy even go for some counter jungling, was able to take away a couple of camps as he does back away finally and retreat with his team. But 3-0, a strong start for Collab. The lead 2.1 to 1.8 thousand, so not that big of a goal lead just yet. But we've seen Collab in the past, when they get some sort of momentum going like this, they are hard to beat. Especially when Iraqi Zoro on that Vox can really get going too. He's actually going the weapon power build this time. He's not going crystal power. So I heard about, you know, the change in Vox forces you to go a little bit more weapon power. And I'm curious to see how it works out actually.
Yeah, we'll see what he's actually in the end going for right now. It's just a 6th sense, so you can pretty much build a lot out of it. But I'm quite curious if he's going maybe even for a tension bow. We saw maybe a bone saw, depending on if the enemy is going to buy any armor. It's difficult. I mean, we have on the other side, we saw that with Team Red, instead of Catherine, we saw actually a Fortress there, and double assassin, and then Fortress in the middle to speed them off, and yeah, get the tooth of the truth out and run towards enemies, and yeah, it's quite interesting. Actually, I read just on Vainglory Fire, probably on the way here, I read about a build. Oh, Rakisuru. Oh, I thought he's getting a bit of damage, but he should be fine with his Sonic Zoom. A triple fountain build on Fortress with a Warhorn and tier 3 boots. That's like high mobility, super good sustain. I read a couple of comments and a lot of people said it's quite good working for them at the moment.
I feel like triple fountain that would work on anyone at this rate, which is how strong it is. It looks like Fluffy gonna get actually taken out. Nice little engage out of Fuji, just slamming him into the wall, getting that stun off. I do secure themselves another kill, and you know, I'm just gonna point something out because I told you earlier this game, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a good game, and I said this is gonna be a stomp. This is gonna be Collab just absolutely walking over them. You're like, no, it's gonna be close.
The thing is, I didn't say it's going to be close. I had a feeling that they can do something, but somehow, I mean, it's not over though. But yeah, you had the better hunch about that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Crunch in the past. I think they ran a little bit of a different roster then, so they're definitely not like playing with the A team, I guess we can call it.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fair to say.
A team should be normally Dana and Cygnus as well. But somehow not playing today. But on the other side, Collab is going for the full A team. Well, Shinkagen isn't playing today, but Fuji Yu might die here. Glaive, he has an afterburn up, but not enough energy actually to build it.
That damage off that flare, and now with Iraqi coming in too, he's gonna have his dash in just a few seconds, but I don't think they're gonna come his direction. They will back off. And Fuji able to escape, though, and able to stay alive. And I'm really curious why Crunch isn't playing with their A team, because I don't believe they're in the top 8. No, they're not in the top 8. They're actually tied for 15th, and they need to accumulate points ASAP if they want to have a hope of even getting to the finals on the 14th of June.
Who is actually sitting on that mark? Like, who can jump in still on who?
Aegis is at 80 points in 9th place. XCTN's at 75. French Walker's at 70. Fire Element's at 70. Prodigy at 60. Nemesis at 50. Smurf at 50. Eternal Darkness at 57. Like, these are all teams that can easily jump to the top. If any of those teams win one cup, they almost, as long as they play in the cup after, will have a guaranteed spot in the finals.
Yeah, well, Nemesis not playing anymore, I think, in ESL at the moment, because they're mainly playing on the Collab, because Fuji is the Nemesis member as well. So, but Aegis, you mentioned Aegis, they're just right now playing versus House of Patietus, so we might know if they have a chance still to move in.
Yeah, if they can beat House, then that gets them a good amount of points, but they're still going to need to place really high I believe, because House Batias can just play in the next cup and get a good amount of points. We'll see. I mean, things can still change. Like the top, I'd say 6 teams are almost guaranteed now. There's still bottom 2 do have a chance to get knocked out with 180, 150. Actually, 180, Wild Panthers, I think, is a good save point. I think House Batias is the only team that can really potentially fall out of that top 8.
Yeah, we will unfortunately see about that pretty soon. So again, it's the same thing happening again, and this time Iraqi Suru is a bit later and moving, and actually a nice Yami Cat and Frenzy. I can't quite see who got killed there. It looks like Gabriel got picked up first, and then Natsuru the kill from Iraqi Suru with a Sonic Zoom. And I don't know why Fluffy went back in there with this Kraken, because he's going to get picked up for sure by Iraqi.
I wanted Fuji, but unfortunately can't take down the big man. And he's actually built. Look at Fuji's building. Actually, he went for a heavy amount of damage off the bat. Is he going for a Sorrow Blade just immediately?
Yes. Yeah, and then probably maybe Tornado Trigger. We see that a couple of times on him. Actually, if he's playing Glaive, he's doing that sometimes. It's getting more common through Fortress actually since 1.5 that the Glaive is actually going for weapon, or actually playing not a tank. I somehow like that, since he's a really strong character and you can basically play him on every build as Crystal or Weapon. Well, Weapon is a bit more effective, but as tank, he's wonderful on a Fountain. So.
Well, what's Glaive actually going to offer to this comp? Because, you know, we've seen Glaive, like I said, a couple times. I think it was Team HC you mentioned up against Collab.
Like he can
but what does he give to the team?
He can knock Rorari out as if Yami Cat and Frenzy. He can engage as he did with First Blood already, with this Afterburn. He's probably going to use that in a second. No, I thought for a second that he's maybe using it. And he still has great sustain if he's sitting in the middle of the team, because with Bloodsong stacked on 20 stacks, passive stacks, he's actually getting a hell lot of health back out of that. And yeah, he's quite a big dude.
What is going on here? This Tri-Bush, both teams just dancing around each other, not going for the engage.
Yeah, Iraqi, yeah, he's not quite sure. Can I go farming here, or is there something going to happen in a second?
Well, they want to defend that gold mine.
It's again,
even Mini Candied it.
Yeah, that's again a Collab move, I believe.
You mentioned this on Sunday, so.
Though not, yeah, then probably not Collab, because
no, I just mean you mentioned that you can do that, and we've seen teams or you've seen teams doing it. And Fuji gonna get locked down, but Rory. I don't think this is a fight you want to have happen. Iraqi coming from the top side. That'll be another kill coming in. 7-1 for Collab. Looking for a fight off the back of that onto Natsuru. Sorry for that. And he will fall. And Fluffy should escape. I'm not sure they're going to dive under this turret, but that should be at least one turret going down for them. Lengthen their gold.
Actually into Iraqi Suru, but
yeah, it's going to cost him his life.
It's the second time that he's actually doing that, and is dying out of it. I don't know why he thinks that he's stronger. I mean, he's an attention bow. He has also a bit, there we go, a piercing shot, so he's getting 15% of armor pierce. But Iraqi is just, he has a Sorrow Blade, man, and a reflex block. He can sustain way better in a team fight and get you bursted down way quicker.
Well, at least it wasn't an ace, so they didn't really lose out too much for that one. The gold mine did pay out just recently too, so a lot of money to spend for the team. They're up they're up over 5,000 gold, only 10.5 minutes or 10 minutes 50 seconds in. It's looking like looking to be the stronger team in this. It's gonna be hard to come back. I think it's what we've seen. Like when one team starts to snowball a game like this, we've seen it very seldomly a team come back, and it's usually been down to wombo combos. And I don't think when we see Team Crunch have that kind of wombo combos, we do see one man on each side now die. Fuji was the casualty on the side of Collab. I'm looking for Rory, but they might just settle for Natsuru. And they will in fact get him. They're looking for the ace, looking for the dive.
Iraqi Suru, one Sonic Zoom. There's the truth of the truth.
And there's the healing too from the ace buff.
Yeah.
And the reflex block coming in. Or the crucible actually coming in to make sure he can stay alive. So there's the ace, there's the strong minions. And this should be another turret going down too.
Yeah.
We have Taka coming in, but those minions do a hell of a lot of damage as you're seeing.
Yeah, and he's again X-Red-suing in, doing a bunch of damage, but I mean, reflex block, but still, he needs to think about what he's facing. He's facing a Vox, and with a Sonic Zoom, he basically can just jump back, and you need to run towards him to get your auto attacks or Kiten over him. So why pick that fight? That's the third time he's picking that fight, and he's losing it the third time. And I mean, the tower is not falling out of it. It's like there's nothing left on that tower, but turret, but still, that's not worth
I mean, that just means if they want to push the lane and we see Crunch try to defend on a turret, well, one hit on the turret, it's completely gone, and that's going to make it very difficult for them to depend on that extra damage that it could provide them.
Yes. I mean, I like that Fluffy is still going in and trying to do anything. There's a reflex block blocking the Yami Cat and Frenzy onto Fuji. Fuji is still, there's the Bloodsong, is sticking in. Irakizuru is connecting now. There are boots on Fluffy. Fluffy tries to run. There is attack of the pack coming in. He's dying first. Irakizuru tries to jump actually over the wall since he has vision from the wolves out of Gabe Vizzle. But Rorari jumps with a Pouncy Fan onto a minion and escapes for now. And you can see actually that the turret should fall in. Yeah, another auto attack. There we go. And it's down. Wait for it coming through. It's getting blocked for a second. But this could even be a double kill because there's an auto attack actually flying behind him.
No ace, but he's gonna die.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah, minions. Oof. And of course Fluffy there.
I saw that once. I once connected with the X-Retsu into an backporting enemy, and I actually got backported with him into his base. I killed him there and instantly died. But that's back in the days, 1.2 I believe. So that was quite funny. I thought, where am I?
That'd be cool to see again, actually. Unfortunately, I think the bug was fixed, or fortunately, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's not like the flying Koshka we saw, like Superman Koshka.
So here we go, 14 minutes in now, 16-3, almost doubled the gold for team point 1 to 7.9, about to hit 8K in just a few seconds.
And we have actually a breaking point. Oh man, I love that. He has a breaking point on Vox. That's so great. That's. I mean, you can see that they let him hit, and there's always Fluffy jumping in, as he just did down there again. It's a 3v2 though. Yami Cat and Frenzy onto Fuji. There's a Sonic Zoom coming in, and they are all under pulse, so every auto attack is bouncing. The breaking point is stacked. Nothing you can do. You will just die to Irakizuru. And as I mentioned, or we're going to mention, they let him actually stack or auto attack for a couple of times, so he probably thought, okay, well, I'm going for a breaking point then, and that was the best idea he could basically.
The only way they can kill him is if they connect 2 stuns with Natsuru and Rory landing.
But he's so fast.
Exactly.
He has super movement speed. He's using his pulse perfectly to slow them down, so they can't really follow him. And then he still has Sonic Zoom. And the wait for it, he didn't really use it that much. Not really to initialize.
Was there even need to?
No, really. He just used it to pick up a kill in the end sometimes, but not really needed. It's a 3v2 now. Irakizuru into Irakizuru. Irakizuru might fall here. The wait for it comes through to 3 members actually. And Irakizuru is falling. Gabe Vizzle still alive. Tries to run. The attack of the pack is behind the enemies. They're getting so many stacks. Immortal Wound already down to Rorari. Rorari is falling. The second the second member of Team Crunch is falling due to Fluffy. He is bleeding. He might even die from that bleeding. No, still alive, but he's kiting back, and Fuji can't get him. Oh, I like that. Perfectly.
Yeah, barely escapes, but they were able to finally kill Araki. That was like the key point of that fight. Finally able to lock him down.
I mean, as soon he felt down here, they just all try to collab.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what they needed to do. 100%. And well, now with the Kraken up, and with Araki pretty damn strong, they're trying to take it, but I don't know if they can fully have it here. Fuji's got to be careful. He doesn't have that much life left. And the team is coming in. Crunch is trying to run as quick as they possibly can, but the Kraken, I feel like, with how little life it has left, or at least on the capture, it should be it. And Fuji will just barely survive. And they do get themselves the Kraken. They get themselves the regen buff. Oh, Rory's going to get caught out. Gabe Vizzle!
Oh, actually, the Scout Trap. The Scout Trap made him stay there, and Rory is going to die. I don't know why Catherine went there with her miraculous pursuit out of the bushes, because now they're going to focus her. Irakizuru tries to jump. He's actually connecting that jump over the wall. There are already stacks on his breaking point. He's getting stunned though by a miraculous pursuit. The rest of his team is there. Kraken is pushing as well. There's a wait for it, not even needed. And it's, yeah, that's pretty much GG if they are playing it right. Still breaking point. I mean, Fluffy is bleeding still. That's quite interesting that he's staying invisible, but he's getting damage from the bleed. Normally damage should like unveil you, but this is somehow not doing it. Rari tries to jump in with the Yami Cat and Frenzy, but as you can see, they're not doing really much damage onto them. There's Kraken pushing as well. They actually got Gabe Vizzle down there, but the Vein Crystal is falling any second now, and this is GG for Team Collab.
Maybe the Kraken there to get one of the final hits onto the crystal. And you see, or not Fluffy, Nitsuru trying to go in, trying to do some sort of damage to it. Just to spite things. And let's actually see. 11-2-11 on Vox for Iraqi Zoro, not bad.
Yeah.
I won't say that really showed his true potential on Weapon Power Vox because that was relatively one-sided game, as you can see from the scoreboard, 24-7. But still, either way, was cool to see. It was cool to see Vox coming back. It's cool to see Glaive actually in the jungle, not as a damager, not as a support that we've seen in the past. I think out of, like I said, Team HC. But guys, we're going to be heading to a quick little break. But when we do come back, we'll be bringing you the next match. I think it's going to be Red Team 2.
Yes.
Up against Team HC, most likely. I'm not sure exactly.
Depends. Did you refresh already?
I did not. I did not.
Let me check. Yeah, we don't know yet. Team HC versus Walkers are still playing, but we are most likely going for that match since that is going to be the interesting one.
So it'll be a little bit of a break. Not sure exactly how long. It just depends on how long that game takes and finishes off since our game is relatively fast. But when we do come back, we'll be bringing you that game, guys. So don't go anywhere. We're back in hopefully about 5-10 minutes time.